Hi. Chances are, if you're my age, you grew up with a little series called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It's a series created by Becky Sloan that features puppets and has a dark take on children's entertainment. It was a very revolutionary series for the time, as the only other horror content on YouTube was gaming, and it was mostly Slender at the time. So today I'm going to be giving you the objectively correct tier list on it. There's no arguing with me on it. I'm just right. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, this style of art creativity is just immaculate. The fabric, aesthetic to everything, and how it's a full-on set in 2011 when relatively low budget was put into anything. It's amazing for the time, and it still is amazing. It still looks great.
What's your favorite idea?
And the fact that they came up with an original song for every single episode, even if some are not so great, it's still incredible.
Now when you look at this, walking along and smiling,
The only con here is that they're British. It's so sad. They were able to accomplish so much with what they had at the time.
I use my hair to express myself.
And yes, as the production value grew,
Find it exciting.
there was definitely some times where they got a bit over the top with props, which we'll talk about later. But what they did with so little, it's actually amazing, and I commend them for the effort.
Paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
And of course, the dark comedy. There's, for a series intent on talking about or just demonstrating the flaws in child entertainment, it has a lot of good comedy. Like,
Green is not a creative color.
I know that they make fun of the duck a lot in this, but usually it's at least a little bit funny. Or not the duck, the yellow kid.
Voices in your brain. Come on, guys, let's
And
get
plus, for the most part, this is just a pleasant song, you know?
creative.
And of course, there's the shock factor, the whole start of, hey, parents, make sure your children aren't watching this because this is not appropriate for them. I don't think I'd seen anything to that scale on YouTube before, because for the most part, everything was just gaming, you know? They didn't really have anything to be falsely advertised about. You knew if your child was getting into something scary, but this looked innocent from the start, you know? And I gotta commend the dark imagery in this episode. A lot of the time later in the series, they use gore and such, and in a way that I think doesn't work as well. But here they do it well. They balance it well. They don't overuse it. And it's just perfect enough to create the shock value that I think they were going for. So, I'm going to place this firmly at an S. It started off such a revolutionary series that many of us still hold dearly to our hearts, even if it did give us a little bit of trauma in the end. We wait for the ice cream truck to pass. It's so sad. Alright, so without further ado, let's get on to the second episode. It only took 2 minutes for the ice cream truck, by the way. That was so epic. I loved waiting for that. But yeah, time. This, I might be a little bit biased towards it, but it's fine. I don't care. We're going to tier it anyways. God, it looks so cool, dude. Everything here.
Come on, guys, stop mucking around.
Red Guy is just objectively the
We
best
only have 5
character.
minutes
There's
until
no
our
arguing
show's
with
on.
me on that.
That's not enough time. Time is a tool you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist.
Even if the song isn't as good, like it's still great. But even if the song isn't as good, the visuals more than make up for it.
What do you
And
mean?
the-
We're already clean. Scrub, scrub, scrub till the water's brown.
Well, I was gonna say the clever writing, but that was
It's only one way. Watch it go
Poop.
round.
A time that's changing all the time. It's time to go to
the stylization in the
We
writing,
don't
though.
really want
It's
to.
super good.
We're going to miss our shirt.
Oh my god, and the other art styles. They use a couple throughout the series, but here it's very good. I'm very much a fan of it.
Has circles inside.
9:30. Fish everywhere. Fish everywhere. If we run out of time. Then
Oh, shout out to this episode for starting my existential crises as a child. God. I remember it being literally right after this episode had come out, and I had to start having talks with my mom like she was a therapist so I could actually sleep at night because I just couldn't stop thinking about how everyone runs out of time, I guess.
It's out of my hands. I'm only a clock. Don't worry, I'm sure
Yep,
you'll be fine.
clock.
But eventually everyone runs out of time.
Alright, I'm going to put that at a high A. It was very good. I don't think the song was as good, but it's still pretty high up there. The visuals were great. The mashing of different animation styles was cool. The lyrics, while sometimes a bit they were still pretty clever in the end. Especially for the time. No pun intended. Yeah, I'd say it goes in A. It's subject to change though. I gotta keep it real with you. I don't remember very much from this one.
Just a delicious chicken picnic.
And then once again, you can tell the scale to production. It's just they put everything they had into it, and they truly continue to try and improve every single time. They try to outdo themselves, and while it might have been to their detriment sometimes, I think it's still perfectly fine at this point in the show. The song still doesn't ring a bell. I can't say I recall it.
Huh?
Yes, we do.
It is true.
We love you.
You love us too.
I love you too, fairy boy.
Harder.
Oh,
Now we've eaten.
My friends, I give them a hug.
I gotta keep it real with you. This song is kind of
so
mid.
much. This is the story of
And once again, the blending of art styles is actually immaculate, dude.
ugly and weak.
It's incredible how versatile the people making this were. The fact that they were able to do something like this, in addition to the puppets and the claymation and the stop motion,
Everyone has a special
it's so cool.
Forever.
And now we all worship our king.
And here it is. Yeah, the sudden drop wasn't
there you are.
quite
We've
gory
been
like
looking
the other
for
ones
you
have been,
all afternoon.
We're sorry we upset you.
but
look, we've bought
it
you the
still
last
works
boiled
to an
egg
extent.
to
Oh
cheer
wait,
you up.
I guess it
Never
must
mind.
be because we love you.
For me?
yep.
Pesky bee.
Yeah, that episode was kind of mid, even if it did have some cool aspects. I'm gonna put it at a B, and we'll deal with it later. The fourth one, the technology one. I remember this one pretty vividly,
I guess
mainly
it's
because of the
my turn
memes,
to
and I think
choose
this
a
was the one I
card.
watched the most as a kid. Oh,
Yes.
that's
if only
right.
There was some way to learn more information about this.
I love that even in this, the characters are now, their expectations are subverted. For the most part, it was them being in on it, or it seemed like they were in on it. But it has become, hey, they were queuing in the globe, and then it just didn't work all of a sudden. Even if I'm not a fan of auto-tuning vocals, it's still clever for what it's trying to achieve here.
Wow. I'm not
And it settles
finding
right
a
into the
computer.
uncanny valley, I think.
Actually, we already have a computer.
It's like the Daisy Bell thing that everybody thought was creepy when it was really cool.
Because of the computer.
And them
I don't
creating
get it.
everything in the form of like a really bad early
If I'm sitting at
2000s
home,
game
but I'm
or
inside the
TV
screen.
episode. It's pretty, it's very cool. Even if I don't think it looks as nice as,
But if he's
well, the
not
real
quite
stuff.
real, then I'm not real too.
And the revelation at the end.
I am going to paint a picture of England.
It's
My
the
hand is a computer.
it's the bit where Red Guy realizes he doesn't need
Wait, what?
the big budget that I guess had been creatively holding him back. That was such a cool reveal at the time, even if it's a bit tame now. For the time, it was still very cool. I'm feeling an A for this one. The visuals, while not as impressive as they had previously been, they still try something new, and it still ends up being pretty cool in the end and serves the purpose it was trying to do, because the computer animation, it wasn't supposed to be the best. That was the point. If they could have made it look like super good, they would, or if they wanted to make it look super good, they would have. But they do how they think it would work best in this show, and I got to give them credit for it. Plus the wow, look nothing meme, that immaculate. All right, I'm gonna give you a bit of a heads up. This is my least favorite episode. I did not like this one. I'll keep it real with you. For the most part, I didn't like this one. I gotta say the
Are you hungry? You look to be
God.
a bit hungry.
No.
I hate this song.
Lots of people get hungry.
That's your body.
Anyways,
Hungry comes from your
I
body.
feel like I've loved the instrumentation
It must have to be healthy.
instrumentation consistently throughout this series. It's always been very good.
Do it healthy.
God, this song is so mid. It's really not good. I don't think, at least. You're entitled to your own opinion, but I think my opinion's the right one here. However, though, the visuals are still immaculate, and the running gag at the phone interrupting them is... I love the balance between creepy and funny that it strikes. Except for this. I hate this. I hate...
You see, the body is like a special
What they do with
house
that
blood,
later is
hair,
just
and
bad, in my
organs
opinion.
the different rooms. Some
While I don't
to
like
the
this song, I
organs,
like
and
how
so
it
is
tries
invited
to
stay for a party.
portray
Yay!
capitalist
Not
marketing in
foods are
children's
very
shows, where they
rude
just
and must leave through the cat flap.
where they show food that isn't necessarily healthy or good for somebody, but I hate this song so much. Yeah, they try to show foods that aren't necessarily healthy, but ones that would typically be advertised in children's television, especially here in America.
What's that?
The reveal of them eating the duck, I never liked it. I gotta be honest with you.
Has the teeth go great.
I feel like they're trying to be too over the top with the gore, and it doesn't work for me personally. I get what they were going for, but I don't like it. Man, the reveal, it's really not that good. I think they try too hard to go all in with the gore, and the song isn't that good. And again, I'm pretty biased against this episode, but I don't care. I don't think it's that good. I think, without a doubt, this episode, I'd probably venture as far as to put it in D tier. I really don't like it. I'm glad that the series was originally going to end here.
Good night, guys.
I think this episode is a pretty good end to it.
I miss you.
And it got out before it got too over the top, as seen with... Well, it did get too over the top last episode, but... Oh, the animation is cool, even if... The song kind of sucks there now. I'll keep it real with you. Yummy oil. I want a sip. The reveal here not being a gory one is well appreciated. The fact that it's just a red guy trying to
Can you
pitch
file these files, please?
a show to, well, that's in a boring corporate job.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. I'm a fan of it.
that sounds really boring.
And the callbacks here, they're pretty good. I'd say that they don't overstay their welcome. They just do. They exist, you know? And God, just to see how far the budget came. The fact that they were able to do something like this, that's pretty cool. I can't imagine it being cheap. Isn't he technically naked right now?
That's rude. No clothes.
Yeah. Ah, yes. And then the bit where, according to that one game theory, the father was like the business manager, and this is how he pitched his show. that sounded negative. I agree with the theory. It's just that, yeah. I'm glad I didn't focus on the song too much, because the song, listening to this would have been just pure agony. Ah, yes, the callbacks that I was talking about earlier. Let's go.
The future doesn't exist.
God, this was such a good conclusion to the show. Even if it did feel a bit kind of old by this point, it was nice to see that it got an actual conclusion. This guy's a king.
I wonder what will happen.
What's your favorite idea?
What a send-off to the show that was. I think that was the perfect time for the show to end, as I think if it had tried to extend its stay much longer, it would probably have become bad, as some forms of media are known to do. Cough, cough, FNAF, cough, cough. All right, I'm placing this at a firm. I'm putting it at S. So yeah, that is the tier list. I think that it is a wonderful series, and I'm very interested in seeing where they go with the next, I think it was 5 episodes that they said they had. And while, yeah, I probably would have been more content with the series just ending right there, I think that they are very creative individuals who will make sure that it continues to go into good hands, such as their own. So yes, thank you for watching. Hopefully you have a good rest of your evening. Have some water, have some food. Leave a like if you feel like it. I'll talk to you guys some other time. Bye-bye.